Ladies and gentlemen, the SEC just launched Project Crypto. We're going to break it down here right now. We have a couple posts from us here at the Coin Zone that describes what's going on here. Our best friend here, one of our best friends here, Paul Atkins. I'm going to get this out of the way real quick. Paul Atkins reminds me of, hey, it's Franklin, the turtle. If you are a 90s baby and you're with me here, guys, can anybody see the resemblance here? Look at this man. Anybody here? Chat in the comments, let me know. But let's just get moving on back to this situation here. Let's break this down, guys. What does this mean? Project Crypto, Project X, great movie. What does this all mean? Well, to hit Trump's goal of making the US the crypto capital of the world, the SEC is rolling out Project Crypto, a full overhaul of securities rules to make markets on chain. Which is huge. Number one, backed by the new PWG report on digital assets, tied directly to the Genius Act stablecoin framework. Okay. Led by Commissioner Peirce, Hester Peirce, a new crypto task force aims to rewrite custody, trading, and token rules. Huge. No more regulation by lawsuit. No more regulation by enforcement. Gary Gensler's gone. The SEC says it's done watching innovation move overseas. That's the big one right there. Because, you know, if you've been here with me on the lives, guys, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but I've been in crypto for more than 4 years now and like very involved every day looking at the news like this, like how we do here. And I've watched it happen. I watched all these companies bitch online about it, tweet after tweet. We can't do anything here in the US. Even a company as big as Coinbase, you know, Paul Graywall would commonly go on podcasts and stuff like that, or go on news stations and talk about the hurdles and all the meetings that they're having, and they're getting nowhere. Very, very, very stifling in regards to innovation. So this is a little issue. This little picture here of just exactly what is going on. I believe this is what Paul Atkins released. Now I'm going to stop sharing my screen real quick and actually share something. Little clip of Paul Atkins actually speaking. Mr. Hey, it's Franklin the Turtle. What is Paul going to say, guys? Let's check it out here. The man is very soft-spoken as well. Let's see what he has to say, though.
Regulators should provide the minimum effective dose of regulation necessary to protect investors while allowing entrepreneurs and businesses to flourish. We should not overburden them with paternalistic regulation that could drive them offshore or make American companies less competitive internationally. American regulators should unleash the forces of venue and product competition for the benefit of all Americans. We should not artificially constrain business models and impose duplicative regulatory costs on American businesses that favor the largest firms that are better able to bear those regulatory burdens.
100%. Just listening to that is amazing. This is today, guys. This is breaking news. But basically what he's saying is we want free markets again. We want capitalism to be able to do its thing freely without regulators or people, you know, seated at specific departments like the SEC to basically just step in and pick and choose, right? This is crony capitalism. This is crony corporatism. That's not what we want. That's not what free market capitalism is. That's not what America represents. So this is getting us back to our constitutional roots. And it's something that I subscribe to and I believe in very heavily, that I think will benefit the quality of life of everybody. So I'm very happy about this. I'm very happy about the direction that the SEC and Paul Atkins are taking everything in regards to regulation and crypto. Just to reiterate, guys, no more regulation via enforcement. We are moving in the right direction. So going to remove this, put something back on the screen. We have another post that I'm going to break down and kind of run through here for you guys. So, you know, just looking at this in more of a context where we can kind of understand exactly what's happening here. So with that said, let's just kind of do that here. So this is our post here at the Coin Zone. If you guys don't follow us, make sure to go follow us, right? They called us scammers. They sued us, censored us, debanked us. They tried to kill crypto. Now they're trying to lead it. The SEC just launched Project Crypto, not to crush the industry, but to elevate it. Here's what's going on, guys. Gensler said everything was a security. Atkins said that is total crap, brother. Get your ass out of here. Now he's gone. New SEC Chairman Paul Atkins just broke the script. Most cryptos are not a security, he said, quote unquote. How he tests confusion hurt innovation. 100% true. How he tests looks at freaking oranges measurements in regards to commodities and stuff. Like oranges is not a digital asset. All right. Obviously, how he tests, confirms, and looks at many different things. And orange is an obscure example I'm using for this example right now, because I'm just trying to say a digital asset is obviously much different than a freaking fruit. Okay. We need new rules for airdrops, ICOs, custody, and trading. Absolutely, we do. Anybody saying, Michael Saylor, one of them, if you're an ICO, you're automatically a security. I don't think that every 100% of the time that's really the case. Crypto deserves purpose, fit, laws, not punishment. Absolutely. It's an effing regime change. Absolutely, guys. Cynthia Lummis wants to introduce bills, right? That will be good in regards to how they're going to look at things like this when it comes to mining and staking and airdrops. So, this is very good. Let's keep it moving. So, what else? The agency that once sued everything on site is now drafting safe harbors rules for devs, creating exemptions for projects, and saying the word airdrops without foaming at the mouth. Welcome to Project Crypto, a full-blown regulatory flippening. Yeah, I think this greatly sums up exactly what we're seeing here. This is exactly it. And I don't think the timing of this is coincidental as well. The Genius Act 2 weeks ago, the digital asset report yesterday, Paul Atkins now comes out and says this. I mean, I don't know. In my opinion, like once ETH reaches over 4K, like all bets are off. I don't know how close to 2026 it's going to take. Markets are on a downturn right now, even though all this is here. So I don't know. We'll see. Here's the twist. None of this happens without pressure. They didn't do this out of love. They did it because we didn't stop building, didn't stop educating, didn't stop posting, didn't leave. They cracked, but we didn't. 100% true. And you really got to shout out a lot of the early on Bitcoiners from literally a decade ago who stuck it out, and some who decided to continue to build within not just Bitcoin, but the whole crypto space and build other projects. We can look at Adam Back building Polkadot, Charles going to build Cardano, Vitalik going to build ETH. A lot of individuals saw something in the entire space of blockchain outside of Bitcoin. So here we are. And obviously Bitcoin is pretty easy in regards to regulation. I think it's pretty straightforward. Bitcoin is the #1 crypto that most people are starting to get now. When enough individuals of stature, like a Larry Fink, like a Jerome Powell, like some of these guys who you see on the news, and you're just an everyday average investor, you don't really know how this stuff works, what's going on. But when you see guys like that who you think are very impressionable and kind of run the industry as they do, if you see guys like that on TV saying it's digital gold, then yeah, I think people are going to start to be like, okay, I think it might make sense to me now. But in regards to the regulation, it's not hard to regulate something that's basically a commodity with a capped amount of them, right? So we need clarity on how this stuff all works. The XRP case, Ripple SEC, they were deemed not a security in one aspect, but possibly in others. It's very confusing, but finally we have people put in the positions that actually care about this, that actually want to bring up clarity. So all these companies can actually operate and set up business, literally operate, just conduct business, just work without having to think in the back of my mind, are we going to get sued because we're possibly doing something nefarious or illegal? No, all that stuff's about to be out the window now. Now they're going to attract companies to come back into the United States with incentives. For example, miners going to be able to write off equipment. That's huge. That is an absolute game changer in such a big way. Those companies are going to be 10 times more profitable now. So yeah, the incentives are going to drive companies back into the US, and this is only confirming that. So what now? Now we make them prove it. Now we hold them to every word. We don't forget the lawsuits. We don't erase the projects. but we use this moment to build with clarity and defend our rights every inch of the way. Abso-freaking-lutely. If you guys like that, make sure to sub. Let me know in the comments. Share this with the one dev who thought crypto had no future in the US. That's it, guys. I just want to come on and talk about this real quick. Talk about our good friend Paul Atkins here. Our good friend, hey, it's Franklin here. Great guy. 90s babies. Shout out to you guys. Let me know in the comments if you're a 90s baby. But that's really all I wanted to discuss here, guys. Stay tuned. We'll be around for more. We got some more videos coming out here shortly. This is extremely bullish. Michael Saylor and Strategy will have a big meeting coming up here in a couple hours where he said he's going to have a huge announcement. We would be covering that live. Unfortunately, I will be doing an interview during that time with Angry Crypto. So anybody know Angry Crypto, let me know. Stay tuned for that. We'll have that one out for you guys shortly. But this is the Coin Zone. Once again, guys, I'm Crypto with Paul. I'll see you guys in the next stream here shortly. Sub in the meantime. Let's get it.